Hi Daniel, I'm just looking at your maths this week. We're using percentages this week, topic 24. It's quite a long chapter, there's a lot of maths in it, so I'll probably break it up into two bits. So I might do the first two pages first and then look at the rest. So this chapter is all about profit and loss and how much percentage profit somebody might make on something. So we look at the first section first. A dealer in antiques buys old items in need of repair. He fixes them and sells them for a higher price than he paid. He makes a profit. How much profit did he make when he sold the clock? So if you see the clock, he bought it for 50 and he sold it for 80. So he made €30 profit. That's easy enough. How much profit did he make when he sold the chair? So beforehand, the chair was 200. After, he sold it for 250. So he made €50 on the chair. On what item was his money profit greater? So it was on the chair because he made €50 on that. Number two, his percentage profit on the clock was, and this is finding out how to do percentage profit. So you find it out by putting the number, how much profit they made, over the cost price. So we look at the clock. So his profit on the clock was €30. That's 30 over, he paid 50 for it. So it's 30 over 50. So that's the same as 3/5, which is the same as 6/10, which is the same as 60%. So then you have to find out what was his percentage profit on the chair. So his profit on the chair was €50. So it's profit over the cost price. He paid 200 for it. So it's 50 out of 200. So you can knock off the two zeros. That's 5 out of 20, which we can make into 1/4. And 1/4 is the same as 25%. So his percentage profit on the chair was 25%. The next question then, on what item was his percentage profit greater? So he made 60% profit on the clock and 25% on the chair. So the percentage profit was greater on the clock. So this bit below in part C is look at the chart and answer the question. So you can see all these items. The cost price is above and the selling price is below. It says calculate the dealer's profit and percentage profit on each item. Okay, so that's easy enough. So look at the first one, the lamp. So he bought it for 80 and he's selling it for 88. So his money profit is €8. Okay. And now to get his percentage profit. So that's his money profit. So his percentage profit again is how much profit he made. So in this case, €8 over the cost price, which was 80. So 8 out of 80 is the same as 8 into 8 goes once, 8 into 80 goes 10 times, 1/10, which is 10%. So on the first item, it is 10%. I'll do two of these of the first ones, and then I'll just give you the answers for the next. So the next one is the mirror. So the mirror cost him 120 and he sold it for 160. So his money profit was €40. Okay, so his percentage profit was that profit, which is €40 out of the cost price of it, which is 120. So again, you can knock off the zeros. It's 4 out of 12, which is the same as 1/3. And that's 1/3 as a percentage is 33 and 1/3%. Okay, so the percentage profit on the mirror was 33 and 1/3%. So we'll do the third one. Looking at that vase, so he paid 160 for it and he sold it for 180. So his money profit was €20. Okay, and his percentage profit was €20 out of 160. So if you put it down like that, so 20 out of 160, so that's 2 out of 16, which is the same as 1/8. So when you're left with 1/8, how to find that or turn that into a percentage now? So you times that by 100 over 1. Okay, so you can get a calculator if you have one. So it's the same as 100. So 1 times 100 is 100 and 8 times 1 is 8. So we're 100 divided by 8. 100 divided by 8 equals, so I see 12.5, so that's 12.5, or you want to change it instead of a decimal to a fraction, it would be 12.5%. Okay, so I'll just give you the answers for the rest of them. So let me see, we've done the first three, is it? Yeah, €20 and 12.5%. So the next one then, which looks like the old-fashioned camera, so it's the money profit was €72 and the percentage was 30%. And the next one was the bureau. The money profit was 300 and that was 20%. And the last one there was the vintage car and the money profit was 500, and the percentage profit was 11 and 1/9%. I'll show you how to get that percentage actually, just in case you're not sure. So that's the profit over the cost price, so you can get rid of those zeros there. So you're ending up with 5 out of 45. 5 into 5 goes once, 5 into 45 goes 9 times. So you're left with 1/9. So 1/9 times 100 over 1, which is 100, and 9 ones are 9. So 100 divided by 9. So if you do that there, 100 divided by 9 equals, so you're left with 11.11111. So how to change that then? So, okay, so it goes 11 times. So 11 times 9 is 99, and you're left with 1 over. So 99 plus 1 will be the 100. So that's 1/9. So that's 11 and 1/9%. So that's how to do the ones that don't work out properly. So go as close as you can and then multiply it by the bottom number. So 9 times 11 is 99, and then one more to make 100, which would be 1/9. Okay. And then question number 2, on which item was the dealer's money profit the greatest? The money profit was greatest on the car, because he made 500 on the car. And on what item was the dealer's percentage profit greatest? And that was on the mirror, because it was 33 1/3%. I think that was the greatest it was, yeah. Okay. So the next bit then is calculating using percentages. The A is done the same way as the last page, B is slightly different. So I'll show you A first. So a fruit merchant buys fruit, she then sells it to the shops. Calculate the profit. The prices are per 10 kilos. So you can see all the figures there. So cost price, the profit she made, what her selling price was, and then the percentage of the profit. So when you're finding percentage of the profit, remember it's the profit over the cost price, and then you change it into a percentage. So for instance, I'm looking at the oranges there, and what is the profit is 138. So don't bother with the decimal points. And that was out of, her cost price was 460. Okay, we'll take that one as an example. So that's what we have it down as. Now we want the percentage profit, so we can times that by 100 over 1 to find the percentage profit. So we'll just get a calculator. So what is it again? 138. 138 times 100 divided by 460 equals 30. I don't know if you can see that very well there. 30. So if you calculated it out, so you would have 13800 over 460, then divide them in, so you would be left with 30%. Find the profit for all of them in the same way. And apples there, when you're looking at the next one, it was 16.66, and the 6 went on. So to change that then into a percentage, so you're left with 16. So 0.33 would be 1/3, so 66 would be 2/3, so change it into 16 and 2/3% for the next one, which is apples. So you can probably see the answers there. I've stuck in some of the answers, but I'll just go through them anyway. So the selling price of the oranges was €5.98, apples £4.55, pears £5.50, grapes £9.60, and raspberries £12.57. And the profit, percentage profit then was the oranges 30%, apples 16 2/3%, pears 40%, grapes 33 1/3%, and raspberries 50%. So the next one then is the jeweler. Jeweler increased his prices by 8%. Calculate the new prices if he then rounded the price to the nearest euro. So the example done there is the ring. So let's have a look at the ring there. So the ring costs €36. He increased it by 8%. So if you want to write that out, or how to find these, so 36 times 8 divided by 100 will find you what he put on to each of them. So if you have a calculator, you can calculate these. So what was it? 36 times 8 divided by 100 equals 2.88. So he added 288 onto the price of the ring. Another way to find that out, if you have a calculator, it is 36. So if you put in 36 times 8%, and you can find it that way, 288. But just to know how to do it, it's 36 times 8 divided by 100. It'll give you the same answer. So for instance, the ring then was €36 plus 288, which is 38.88, and rounding it up, so he rounded up the prices, was €39 for the ring. So the watch was 84 multiplied by 8 divided by 100, which means he added on €6.72 to the watch. Add that to the price already, €6.84, which means his watch costs now €90.72, rounded up, so €91. And the rest are all done the same way, and I'll give you the answers to those now. So moving on, the brooch should now cost €119.88, so it would be rounded to €120. The earrings, $248.48, which would have left them $249. The pendant, $437.40, which would be $437. The bracelet, $604.80, which would be $605. And the diamond, $1,328.40, or rounding up 1328. So that's for that section. So the next little section is looking at loss there. During the autumn, a clothes shop put the summer clothes which had not been sold on sale. The selling price was less than the price the shop had paid. For how much less than the cost price was the shirt sold? So the cost price was 30 and the selling price was 27, so it was €3 less. For how much less than the cost price were the shorts sold? And the cost price of them were 16 and the selling price 14, so for €2. On which item was the money loss greater? And that would be the shirt, because they lost €3. So the next bit is how to find the percentage loss. The percentage loss on the shirt was €3. They lost €3. And the cost price of it had been 30, so it's 3 out of 30, which is 1/10 or 10%. So what was the percentage loss on the shorts? So the percentage loss on the shorts was €2 out of, what was the cost price again? 2 out of 16, which is the same as 1/8. And 1/8 as a percentage is 12.5%. And how to find that out again is 1/8 times 100 over 1, which is 100 divided by 8. 100 divided by 8, 12.5 or 12.5%. Okay. And then your next question, on which item was the percentage loss greater? So it was a greater loss in the shorts because they were 12.5%. So all of these ones are done the same way as the shorter question above. So I'll assume that you're okay to go on with them, and I'll just call out the answers for you. Actually, I'll write in the answers to make it a bit easier. So remember to find percentage loss. So it's the loss out of the cost price. Okay. So I'm looking at the second one which was the sun cream. So the loss was €3. Out of the cost price was €15. That's the same as 1/5, which is the same as 20%. So looking at the chart there, the sun hat, the loss was €1 or 10%. Sun cream, €3 or 20%. Flip flops, €10 or 66 2/3%. Sunglasses, 98 cents or 4%. Lip balm, 180 or 24%. And swimwear, 741 or 26%. And on which item was the shop's percentage loss greatest? And it's there, you can see it there on the flip flops, 66 2/3%. That's it for these 2 pages. I'm going to do the other one separately. So I'll talk to you later, Daniel. Take care. Bye.